Tape marker, Malum review, guys. Get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan68.
I'm Angela Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. Who bring movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Angela, what are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing Malum.
Malum, ladies and gentlemen. Malum tells of a story of a rookie police officer willingly takes the last shift at a newly decommissioned police station in an attempt to uncover the mystery connection between her father's death and a vicious cult.
That's funny that the, synopsis is, worded that way.
It's worded such a way to where it's literally exactly how the movie played out.
No, but so this would be, I think, like a reboot for the original.
Yeah.
That's titled The Last Shift.
The Last Shift. I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. I thought this was actually a little bit different title. I like it.
I like it. Yeah, because it focuses on
cult,
leader.
Yeah, the cult
because it
leader.
wasn't actually the demon per se. It was the cult leader. So I gotta say though, not seeing the original The Last Shift, I didn't really know what to expect. I know we saw the trailer. It was super creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. It had set pretty high expectations. When it comes to scary movies, I feel like a lot recent ones kind of fall on this like jump scare business where it's all about just scaring you. Not a lot of story behind it. But I got to say, this was definitely not the case. This had a really solid story from start to finish. It doesn't give a lot of background, which I like. It doesn't spend half the movie setting up something to happen. You're pretty much thrown into this story right away. It follows the police officer, Jessica Lorum, and she's basically in this old abandoned police building. And that's literally the set for the whole movie. And it's pretty funny because it's like you don't really imagine how big this place could be. But it's like you have so many rooms, so many different nooks and corners that you can that she goes into, and it's wasn't an insane ride, I gotta say. It was definitely an experience.
This movie was such a strong psychological elements to it. It really brought so much of that of just creating a strong story in a horror movie. Like, this is really, like, I'll be honest, this is probably as of right now, the best horror movie of the year that I've seen all of this year, right? Because we're still,
it's pretty early.
It's still pretty early. We're in March. This movie is so good that we talked about in our regular reaction, guys. The trailers do not give this justice. If you have seen the trailer, you're like, do not pay attention to that. We promise you. The best jump scares and the best horror elements are not in the trailer. They're not.
Which is good.
Which is great because it left me like, okay. Because when you get to see a horror, especially horror movies, right? The jump scares, a lot of those scary stuff is already in the trailer because they're trying to sell you.
You see it happen. You're like, I've seen this before. I know what's going to happen. It loses that element of surprise. Well, and I know there were some parts that you thinking back on it were from the trailer. But I guess I got so lost into the story, I completely forgot that. So even those scenes were like, they frightened me because I didn't see it coming. Even though I had seen the trailer, I didn't see it coming. That's how good the storytelling is, because you kind of get sucked into this realm, this world. And I gotta say, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought it was going to be a different direction based on the trailer alone and the poster. And I gotta say, I like the way that this was written. Yes, I do.
The story in depth in here was such really good structure here. This movie is so structured. I feel like it's well directed, of course, by Anthony. Anthony actually directed The Last Shift, so he's known to do those poltergeist kind of films, and he's known to do all that style, all that of horror, of supernatural. I love that because it really carries out the movie because you can really feel it. This film is such a thriller. It's such a influential of itself. It's so fluid. It really is. When we mean fluid, right, we mean by actual blood fluids. Like, it just doesn't throw blood at everything. It throws blood at the right times, at the right moments of the film, when it's gonna hit the climax moment, when it's gonna hit the next terror, the next story plot, where you're following this lady. I gotta give it to Jessica Sula, who's actually plays Lauren. And she does a really good job because you're following her throughout this movie, and we see her a lot of the trailers, so you know she's alone in this decommissioned police station, and you're just like, what is going on? Is there a connection? Is there not? And what's happening in this whole decommissioned police station? And to put into perspective here, this place is a lot bigger than what it seems in the trailer, and it's such a good flow of a movie, man. I thought this movie was really fantastic. I had a great time watching this. Sadly, though, we did not see this in theaters, which I am sad about that because I kind of felt like it would have carried more of that scary elements in the theater.
Well, I mean, because you got to be honest about the environment. Like, we watched it from the comfort of our home. Yeah. We have all the lights on, our pets. You can pause it, you can get up, and whatever. But when you're in a theater, you're experiencing this with like digital surround sound all the way around you. Dark atmosphere, pictures a little bit more clear, so it's a little bit different. But still, I gotta say, this was a really good film to watch, and I was very surprised. And I gotta agree with you. I really liked the acting of Officer Loram. In this, I think she did such a phenomenal job. Even the other cast members that we see. It's not a big cast, which I like.
Clark Wolf, who actually plays one of the leads. Not necessarily one of the leads, one of the cult followers. And she is so damn good at it. Oh my God. Okay, so here, put this into perspective, guys. The actors, this movie feels when you watch this movie, it almost feels not necessarily like an independent, but it kind of does in that way. It kind of feels like a more independent movie. It does. But once the nightmares start coming, once the terror starts happening, it really focuses on the actors to really portray this evilness, to portray this cult following, insanity that you lost your mind. It's so good, and they really relies on them, and it falls back on 100%, 110%. These actors and actresses did a phenomenal job. That was just spectacular. I was really surprised at how well each of them did, because each of them had a part to play in this movie. And again, we go back to the director. We go back to how is this being told? What is being told here? We go back to how demonic it is. Is it very demonic? Is you really hit on those such good elements to where the story really keeps it going. And we're not saying demonic is good. It's not, obviously. It's not whatsoever. But putting it into perspective here in a movie platform, I mean, it's really crazy to me. It really is how good this movie is, and this goes back to where the director, the writers, they wanted to tell a story, a refresh course. This movie is a refresh horror of the because you said the original was the last.
I want to say it was 2014.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But so it's been a bit, and I
gotta 2014.
Yeah, I gotta say, again, coming from someone who hasn't seen the first one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one, to be honest. And knowing that it's a reboot, I got to commend it even more because, and generally, second films aren't as good as the first one. And that's debatable. That's debatable. Totally
or remakes in general. Or sequels. Yeah, but this ain't a sequel.
But this was, I got to say, pretty mind-blowing for me. I can't say enough good things about the actors and actresses, like you said. The story, the writing, the directing, the special effects, and the makeup. Oh my gosh, the makeup was great.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, man. There was so much good of the gore wasn't too much, which I'm kind of like iffy on, but to put it into perspective here though, the gore is necessary at the moments that it's put in. I feel like it really is. It puts.
But I also like it's not a lot of, at least to me,
overblown.
More so for me, it doesn't seem a lot relying on like CGI.
Yeah,
it was completely like prosthetic makeup. And it was done so well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I got to say that added to really good gore aspect of it was that the makeup was done very well. Yeah. Overall, I got to say I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah. It did its job. It scared me.
Definitely.
It scared the pants out of me.
Yeah, it got me. It was very creepy for myself. I really enjoyed this movie, guys. But if you haven't, check this out in a movie theater. It comes out March 31st, and I'm pretty sure, because it's definitely not being marketed at all, right? It's not really, and I kind of feel like I haven't seen any marketing for it that much.
I haven't either.
Yeah, sadly. But if you want to see a good horror film, this is definitely one to check out this year, guys. But yeah, rating, was this the film we deserved? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest end, so I'm going to give this rating.
I will give it an 8.5 because I really, really enjoyed the story
Nice.
and the direction,
Yeah.
you know, and I enjoyed everything. It was a very
Nice.
well-rounded horror film.
Yeah, you know, this movie, it really it carried itself. It really did. And the moments that you thought it was going to kind of take a shift in the left turn, it took a shift totally in the right turn. It was very unpredictable of a movie. And I thought that's fantastic because I like it when a movie surprises me in a way to where like, oh,
Like it's
I
never
didn't know
been
that was
done
gonna
before.
I didn't know that was going to happen. And to know that's the original director of The Last Shift comes to me and be like, you know what? I'm not just going to show you gore because that's what I showed you already. He's learning. You adapt. This is the beauty of art. This is the beauty of movie making is that you make the same movie, but you don't. It's a different tasting. You add a different ingredient. You add a different tasting to your. It's the same dish, but you're adding a little spice to it. You're adding something to it to where like, oh my god, you're changing the style of noodles. You're not using angel hair. You're using something else. You're using shells. I don't know. I'm just naming stuff. But it's definitely a really good solid film, guys, and I do recommend this. I give it a solid 8.8, guys. 8.8 rating, almost a 9 for me. And yeah, I really did enjoy this movie. This is one of the top horror movies of the year. Obviously, we got another horror movie coming out very, very soon, guys. And that's Evil Dead. Oh, man.
Yeah,
that movie is coming out. That movie looks creepy, guys. But yeah, definitely. We'll see. We'll compare it because we'll see which one's going to be better. You know, this one. But, you know, you never know. Evil Dead Rise comes out in a few weeks. So that's definitely something to look forward to. It looks more demented more in that one, but yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Because we did do a trailer reaction. If you haven't already, check out our trailer reaction. But yeah, guys. All right, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. We do recommend this movie, guys. Obviously, we're giving it above rating. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day, and thank you so much to our subscribers. Like, share, subscribe for us on our Alamo City Movie Talk, Alamo City Movie Talk page, guys. Thank you so much. And if you're listening to us on podcast, find us on YouTube, vice versa, on all social media platforms. Thank you so much. As always, I'm your host Ryan D. Ryan680.
Angela, that cat Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much once again, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace. Check you later.